General Techno here with yet another video review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a seriously underrated figure that a lot of people don't really seem to like too much. Transformers 2007 movie Leader Class Megatron, the original Deco. As you can see, he turns into a Cybertronian jet, which, yeah, it's a bit of a fudge because they didn't want to give Megatron an Earth mode, given that he was frozen for all these years. He's got frost-like paint apps, as you can see here. The frost along the wings, on the head, on the parts up there. Can't really fit him in the box that easily, so I'm going to have to hold the wing a bit, but here's what he looks like from the side, from the top down. Again, I'm kind of fudging this here, in terms of a view. But yeah, here's Megatron from the top down, with the wing folded a bit. As you can see, it's definitely a bit of a menacing Cybertronian jet there. From the top, it looks pretty good. From this side here as well, it doesn't look too bad. From the front, however, you can see the giant leg under the wings, and this is probably the weakest view of the figure. Although he does look alright from an angle and stuff. Not too bad, but yeah, legs right under. He's got lights and sounds as well in this mode. If you press the button, he does his lights and sounds. Also, he's got lights back here, and he did have some red pieces back behind the wings here, which are illuminated by the lights. But I took those out because of how they look in robot mode. Anyway, one of the biggest flaws of this figure, other than the legs under there, is the head was remolded at the last minute. So as a result of the head remold, the piece that covers the face no longer fits the head. They remolded the head, but not this face, sadly. Anyway, I'm going to transform this guy to robot mode, since there's not much else to look at in this mode. Alright, we're going to start by pulling back this entire piece here, pulling the head and turning it around. Alright, then we're going to turn him over, and we're going to unclip the legs right there. I apologize if this is looking really tricky. It's not easy transforming a leader on camera, especially a leader as bulky as Megatron. We're then going to rotate this piece around 180 degrees. It only goes 180 degrees, and it only rotates one way. Rotate this whole section up. We're going to take the arms, fold them out from there, fold this entire piece down where it's going to lock into place. We're now going to turn back around, and we're going to continue flipping the tail up. I'm going to have to move these wings a bit, though. Yeah, flip the tail up, push this part in, and we're going to lock the back of the jet beam here, and it snaps into place. Turn it around, you can see that this bolts this entire assembly here in place. Now we're going to straighten out the legs, and here's the first bit of automorph, another bit of automorph, other than the wings, which were automorphic, you noticed, because when I moved that one piece, the wings folded, which is a neat touch. The other automorph is you bend the legs in order to bring the feet down, as you can see. Anyway, here's the feet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to finish bringing this up, and up here we're going to lock this into place. We're going to now snap the head down, fold the arms again, and we're going to rotate them like this, such that the hands here are facing in. We now fold the pods up, fold the hands down, and adjust the camera ever so slightly so we got bumped around. And presto! Transformers, and one last bit actually. It's a minor bit of automorphing, but we press the button. These panels here move and it makes lights and sounds. And presto! Transformers 2007 Leader Class Megatron. Now, in robot mode, I'm just going to start off by pointing out that as general aesthetics. The ice painting is a lot more predominant in robot mode, as you can tell. Just a sec, this came undone there. But as you can tell, the ice deco is a lot more prevalent in robot mode. He's got it all over his hands and arms and legs. It adds a lot of color to this guy, given his colors. Given his very light gray plastic, it gives him some much needed detail. Which, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it from a design standpoint, simply because of the fact that, yeah, I don't like the ice design on it. The premium version of the figure uses a darker gray plastic, which is more like the silver he is in the movie. As far as general aesthetics look, he looks a lot like the movie model, except he has the giant wings sticking on the back, which they couldn't shrink down just because of the design. It's impossible to do that. And the giant paws on the arms, which, again, because of the design, wasn't really easy to get rid of. As well, yeah, he's got half the jet hanging off his back in various shapes and forms, which is a bit of a downside, but he still looks pretty cool, even though he's not completely movie accurate. As far as posability goes, his arms can rotate all the way as far as they can go without the wings getting in the way. He's got pretty good shoulder motion. He can rotate up here at his elbow and bend his arm pretty much 90 degrees. And as for the hands, he can open and close the claws on each hand. Legs, again, the legs are ratchet joints, 360 degrees ratchet joints. They're pretty good there. And there's also a swivel here. And the knees don't bend quite 90 degrees back, but they've got better range than Universe Dinobot, even still. Feet aren't posable because they automorph into place. Another negative of this guy is the head. The head snaps into place, as you can see, which means that there's no turning ability on the ball joint. You can rectify that, though, by pulling the head off and just resting it on the little piece here, instead of actually snapping it in. That way you can kind of get some poses up by just tilting the head to the side. I also think it looks a bit better just because it gives him a bit of a neck. Anyway, just to get a close-up on that face there, as you can see, it's pretty accurate to the movie Megatron's face in terms of sculpt. It's got the red light piping up top, which actually doesn't show that well as far as light piping goes. A bit disappointing, really. Some of the Universe figures have far better light piping. Now then, for some action features on this guy, I'm going to have to show you some of these. He doesn't have much action feature-wise, but he does have some gimmicks in both hands. In this hand here, he's got a little launcher right there, which doesn't have a spring in the packaged version of the figure. You have to swap the spring from this arm to this arm, which I'll explain why later, but anyway, press this, and it shoots out his mace from the movie. You can then wind up the mace by just opening the pod here and putting it back in there. Or you can also tighten up the mace by pulling this piece right here, and you can bring the line taut, which is a neat little feature, if you ask me. Anyway, as for why you would want to remove that spring in the first place, it's because it kind of gets in the way of his other gimmick, which I'm going to show you, specifically making his fusion cannon. The way you make his cannon like he has in the movie, his two-handed cannon, is first of all you're going to fold his hands in to the pods, get them out of the way. Then what you're going to do is you're going to clip them together to this piece here, using that piece. And now we fold this pod into place, and it can slide out to the side a bit, and it likes to pop off. So yeah, you can slide this out to this bit to put it in the middle, and again, this is why I don't have the spring in here. There's a little piece on the bottom here which you can pull in and out in order to deploy the cannon, but it's spring-loaded in the box, so you have to hold it in order to keep the cannon out. Anyway, so yeah, you press that out, put his hands up like this, and bingo, you have his fusion cannon. Anyway, as for a scale comparison with this guy, here he is next to some of my favorite figures. First of all, Classic's Jetfire, as you can see there. This guy's a leader class, he's a Voyager class. The scale is about right for the price point. And for another movie comparison, Here he is next to a slightly mistransformed, but still pretty accurately transformed Leader Class Optimus Prime. The two are pretty much the same height, as you can tell. And yeah, scale-wise, Megatron was about 10 feet taller than Prime in the movie, but scale-wise, they still look pretty good together on a shelf. Anyway, as for Megatron, would I recommend this toy? Even though I don't think it's as bad as some people were making it out to be, probably not. I don't think I would recommend this guy, simply because he's, yeah, there's a movie 2 Megatron coming out soon, so I wouldn't really recommend him because of that. Because the movie Megatron design looks a lot cooler than this guy does. And it'll probably be executed a lot better as well. Anyway, this is General Techno, signing off.